Hi, everyone. This is going to be a video about how to awaken your root chakra in order to feel the love down there and the love that's laying a bit everywhere inside of you, and to get that tape or those tentacles or that lasagna, what I call dough, going. Because magic starts swirling inside your body, this kind of tape stuff that pulleys down and digs a pit, a ditch down near your root chakra. And there's some all over inside your head. There's these love clusters, and by using metal music, um, by using metal music, because it's well, all music actually plays with that, but metal music is a lot more intense because of the bass drums and the intense drumming, the distortion, whatever is rough sounding, feel or a buzz, kind of like that, those techno buzzy sounds, and whatever is kind of rough feels actually really good on your root chakra. But for most people, that chakra is sleeping. All their chakras are sleeping actually, because they don't have the real eyes. They're not aware of that feeling. And the way I got that to awaken was from being in the underground scene for a long time, and to listening to marginal music, especially metal. By listening to lots and lots and lots of metal, I ended up starting to feel this love near my root chakra. It's like a miniature orgasm. It's it's really pleasant to feel, and that's what you use to do magic. Because from listening to the lyrics of the music, you'll notice that some words will hit that chakra, the love on there, and they'll actually run after it, and some others won't. And the words that have power or a magical effect will, especially evil magical effects, are gonna hit the chakra. Then you understand by listening to the lyrics that that's kind of the house of evil souls and evil people. And that when you feel that, it means that you have the gun, or the dick, excuse my speech, in order to fuck evil, to fuck you, and to that's why they say fuck you. It's because it's by using that love feeling and just speaking on it and blasting music on it, you actually cast spells and make magic with that, chaos magic or sex magic. You don't have to do sexual intercourse to do sex magic, because it's a sexual feeling. It's kind of an orgasm. Um, and what you do is you lay down and you put the music loud enough to bury your wandering thoughts, and you mentally direct the music towards your pelvic area, a bit towards the back, and you concentrate and you pay attention. And when people speak, if you pay attention, you'll feel that love, and you'll feel that some words affect it and some don't. And even the movement of their hands. When I do this, something plays with that love. I feel a faint orgasm, and that's where the cons are. Then when they say kill or die, they say that, sing that directly on the chakra. When actually, when you're innocent and straightforward and not lying and not bad intentions, you actually speak on that too. That's what happens when you write here. That's where you write. To write is kind of like to cast. It programs their mind because since it's been set on love, their mind appreciated that, and it becomes a value or a function of their brain. You can actually give them really bad reflexes and really bad curses using that fuck switch. Uh, so that's how you cast spells in chaos magic. So you concentrate on your root chakra, and then you can also try to blast your head, to surround your head with the music, and you pretend it's penetrating your brain. And when that dough appears, what I call dough, and I think that's what Mafia called it too, because they got the Dow Jones out. And then dough was money, because when you play with the love, beer or money, what they call money or beer, it's actually chi or prana flows out from the bottom of your stomach. You get this cool sensation in your mouth, and you know you're breathing in something sacred, some celestial energy of some sort. And it's the well at the bottom that provides that. And all the children of bottom swim in that since they were marginals. That's why you see musicians, they they show themselves drinking beer lots, and there's lots of inside jokes about beer drinking in marginal music, punk rock and metal. They even have this band called Ailstorm, because that's kind of what happens. Since the music blasts your chakra, your spirit is drinking beer or intaking the prana or the chi coming from below. You don't notice you're breathing that in, but you're actually drinking beer because you're asleep. And your chakra is sleeping. That's why you don't feel it. So by blasting aggressive enough music like heavy metal, especially black metal and death metal, grindcore is really good for that. And you can try to concentrate on the bass drums, and the bass drum will hit that. And once you feel that, you can stick that to album art. And what's special with album art is it doesn't give what your subconscious or the entity living in there is looking for. And we used to be mastered by something evil, the evil eye and the ma, the mas, the mafia and the Kabbalah and the Freemasons and that pyramid they had on the dollar bill. We were stuck inside that. So whoever was on top was doing the love thing to us. But and then I think why beer and whatever you can consume has that. Even KFC, say KFC, and you get that stuff pouring out again. There was an album I was listening to. They were talking about KFC, and repeating it and repeating. Every time they say it, I get this. I was pissed drunk off chi just by listening to them say that. And when they say way, the way opens up a well and gives you a great big swig of that chi prana stuff. And it's by pressing the button, the love button. So what you got to do is direct the music towards that. Try to raise your frequency and to reach your higher self in order to get in tune with your inner self. And then it's as if and the music will wander up and down your spine in this tape with a pulley system on it that kind of twirls, and every once in a while it dings the love, and when it dings the love it kind of blows open, and then you have this It's like playing with spandex or something, and you can follow that love around and direct the music. And when the lyrics hit that, especially black metal lyrics, it curses the fuck out of them. Because by listening to the lyrics, you end up understanding that that's actually affecting other people within your house, that love. And whatever you say on that love becomes a word they love and becomes something they like and some things they do. You can say bite your tongue when you eat, and they'll bite their tongue while they're eating the next time. You can give them bad reflexes. You can say wake yourself up when you fall asleep. You can have a really. I had this curse once. I'd spasm every time I'd fall asleep. Then I had my mouth wiggling back and forth and playing on its own. I wouldn't control it. It would just go left to right and swing around, and it would keep me awake. Or I'd start clicking my teeth, click, 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 and I couldn't fall asleep because I met someone that kissed me an evil spell. Uh, it was an 81 guy, all dressed in a head rush, the Hell's Angels clothing. So that stuff was cursed, and they were good at putting curses on us. That Harley Quinn and the Nazis and all that. And it was a rose. Roses do that. The rose is actually a huge curse, um, and they would kiss us those. I had another kiss once. They said, "Now we're kissing you." They probably had access to my love because when they said kiss, my rib cage went up. I breathed in this weird stuff. That's why activists and marginals and album art shows gas masks. It's to say that they're immune to that kiss effect they did me. Because when I breathed that stuff in, uh, balls crawled up my spine, and balls are also spells uh, in the rolled up dough. And then it seems like by listening to the music, it seems like your organs disappear, and all you have is this cosmic tape swirling around inside of you. Uh, and that tape, the music writes on, and the distortion kind of sands it down and gives you beer also. And sometimes it tastes sweet or metalish in your mouth. That's when you're sifting tea or whiskey or rum. That's when you're hacking at their fort, because there was a whole wall of that stuff, hardened dough that would keep us away from the true the right position. And then there was there might be these kind of fishing line, these harder spots within that dough that you can break. And by looking at album art, especially extremities, you put love once you start feeling it on that album art, and the images will start moving. A character will start moving his hand, and if you let your head go to the music, you'll end up in this pulley system and you'll feel that dough working, and you'll notice that you're staying on the love, and that something is controlling your head and positioning it, and that whatever's moving on the image is actually directing your head to the proper position in order for you to follow that love all the time. Um, so what you say on that love is a spell, and it'll affect evil people. Some will affect all, depending on which love it's set on. And you can just say snowball, and the tape will bubble down this ball thing, and it'll crawl down to the ditch where they are. Well, where they are. So and then when you stamp love on images, and if there's a cannon on the image, a tank or a gun or something, you'll notice that it flashes every bass drum hit, because the bass drum hits that every time, that love. And then you'd see the cannons flash as if they'd be firing. That's how you understand that that's a gun. And then they joke about, hey, officer, there's way too many bullets in this gun. And then they show themselves with guns, or the anti-mafia bands and stuff. They act like the gangsters, but they're showing them that they have the guns because they feel the love. And they're when they have the mic, the dick, they're fucking the girls. Girls is a war word for saying cons. We call those girls because when you're with them, your root chakra just yells. You feel it a lot more, and that means that if you have the pussy, you make the rules. Because whatever you say on that becomes a rule, and you rule when that happens. So that's why it's neat to feel that. And that's how you can change reality also, is by putting an intention. Or while you're doing sigils or artwork or working with your hands, you're actually putting that love on what you're doing and activating it magically. So if the image speaks for itself, well, the image will start acting like what it looks like. Or if it's just a symbol like a sigil, well, the intention you had while putting the love on it will give it a behavior, a magical behavior. And it's with that love that you do magic. So that's why it's really neat and important to start feeling it. So I suggest heavy metal. And but all music plays. I was listening to Christmas music the other day, and when they said Santa Claus, it ringed my bell. And Santa Claus was a curse. Santa and all those holidays are kind of cursed, and the church was cursing us, and with the cross, and it was all a big swindle. Whatever has a heart, you don't trust, because they loved hearts, the girls. They're also called children because they were stuck in the pyramid with the dawn on top, dictating. And even the Pope, the Nazi one, called himself Benedict. Bene comes from benediction. It's a benediction, a blessing, a blessed one. Benedict, and dict is to dictate. So he says, I'm the blessed dictator, Benedict, because he thought he was on top of the pyramid and was able to dictate. Because when you're in the pyramid, the D, the delta, you're their children, and they can indoctrinate you and put beer where it's not supposed to, like on beer. Like they wanted us to buy beer, so they put Prana there to treat our soul when we have beer. Speaking of which, see, when you look at it, when you notice you're staring at a beer, breathe in. Or when you see somebody drinking, breathe in from the bottom. Pay attention to what it tastes and where it comes from. And by listening to enough metal, you'll probably awake all that tape system. That's why the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster came out. It's because that though once I felt I was probably in some sort of pyramid of some sort, but I felt like this shower head raining spaghetti on me. Spaghetti is that dough, but that dough contains instructions. It's like tape from a cassette. So, and then they would kind of laugh at us, serving us spaghetti, because their game was to show us what was happening to us while doing it to us without us noticing that that was happening because it was all hidden. So the flying spaghetti monster is us now. We feed them spaghetti with that love. Spaghetti pours on them, and they don't feel it. Most people don't feel it, but it's that dough coming in. And that's why they would put a strainer on their head, is was just to get the water and not the pasta or the dough. And I think the dough, even Homer Simpson says dough. And then they got the Dow Jones, Dow DOW was corrupt, and every letter is a spell. Every letter has a special effect because of Kabbalah. Each sound in the Kabbalah had an entity, an angel linked to it, and they all had a behavior, and they even have not had numbers. The numbers also do something from 1 to 10, or even more. Um, what was I saying? So that DOW with O is the sound you pronounce water in French is eau de l'eau. So I think O became some sort of letter pouring, acting like a verso, a water, an Aquarius, that spills water. O, and the W it would be it would double you. It would pass on top of you. So the Tao is originally the DAO, the Tao from China, where the Qi comes from. It's the source of all energies, the Tao. But they corrupted that, calling it the Dow Jones, and having it said enough, it would change the meaning of the word that sounded like Tao, the energy word. Because what they wanted to do was to cut us off from that energy and make us consume coffee and whatever they would sell. They even wanted us to buy sex, for fuck's sakes. They got all the women were becoming whores. Or there was an epidemic of putras on Facebook. Pute in French is a whore. Rat is a rat. It was a rat whore, putra, and they all looked like they were sluts. But and then they were they would even teach them to fuck around and on their boyfriends and all that, and they were trying to destroy the family and the couples because we were at war with the fascists. So they had the power of the words because they were sitting on top of the pyramid, but they're stuck in there now, and it's with that love that you indoctrinate them because they're enslaved. And when you say die, well, if it hits the love, whoever's been affected by that die on that love will start dying. They'll start behaving in a self-destructive way, and then the universe will start directing death toward them, and they'll fall sick soon and die. And you actually kill people with the love. You don't kill them instantly. Some probably do die instantly somewhere in the world when you say die on that, but the others will just start dying slowly. But they'll be on a death cycle, and they'll be on the cross. They'll be cursed like they were on the cross. What I lived through, I carried the cross. I was a Rasta man. They cursed us all with an evil rose. Puff up the prana. So concentrate on your pelvic area, send music to it, and pay attention to what could be tickling or a fun feeling. And even when people talk, pay attention to the words and try to open up and to offer your chakra for them to tamper with it. Because when you're speaking to someone, the universe, the eye is good now. So the eye is making people speak the proper way. So they'll be speaking the right way automatically. So you can let them speak on that because we're not vulnerable to the evil effect of what's said on that love, since we're black and we're good and innocent. So the key to doing magic is innocence. Whoever has innocence has power and has the gun. That's why they go like this to rappers, because they're telling the rappers, you're blasting your own head. You're not wrapping us up anymore. and sending us to McDonald's with the Joker and Harley Quinn. Even superheroes had became entities and would behave a certain way. I would look at a Harley Quinn picture, and by stamping love, it would activate it, and she'd lift her foot and make me smoke this stuff as if I wouldn't have a gas mask. So those activists that show a gas mask is to show mafia and fascists that they're immune to their gas chambers and their evil curses and that stuff you breathe in that shoves all those balls inside of you and that rose and whatever. So reach your higher self, get in tune with your inner self, and pay attention and blast your head and take the music and scan your whole self, direct it everywhere you can until you start feeling some love, a miniature orgasm. And then just blast that love with all the music you can to melt it down, to get the beer and to program and to curse the fuckers. Because they tried to to take eternal life away from us and promising the promised land and a paradise that we would never see. Well, now it's them that are going to be banned from heaven eternally, forever, because that's what they were doing to us. We managed to make it out thanks to metal. All that fast banging kissed everything and managed to kiss the one, and to get the Don down there and the Godfather. That was hard to deal with. It was the father of God. So a Godfather. Well, now it's Lemmy from Motorhead is the Godfather. But yeah, and then those lyrics when you go see a band, they actually kiss you, and your behavior changes. What you say will change. The order of the words you'll say and the order you'll say them will change. And because there's this bird language that exists, uh, that's playing around with words because of the Kabbalah and the mantras and they call it graphemes in French, the grapheme. It's like da, ta, ma, mon. It's parts of words or sounds. Well, the graphemes, those parts of words, depending on the sound they have, each have a specific effect on the spirit. And some of them kept that evil effect they had, but are now affecting them instead of us. So, and the bird language is to read between the lines because it's this language that appears with a word game they would do. And the words had different meanings, one or two different meanings each, or three definitions in each word. Like in French, there's matin. Matin is the morning, but ma is a master on the alpha. It was the mafia. Ma was bad because there was a master manipulating the natural born leader, the alpha male. So it wasn't a natural born leader; it was a manipulator, the M, the master. So the matin, teint is the tint. So when they would piss them off and would say matin, because they would tint them, it would give them color. And they were white dependent because of the white power, and white would give magical powers. So they needed a white house. It was a white place, like these are white houses. Studs and their pyramidal shape, the sacred geometry would interest them a lot. They would stick to a white spot somewhere on an image and then convince you that they control the whole thing and make it behave the way they wanted. That's when they would master you. It's like wearing a mafia hat. I would say that you had the mafia's influence, but and you're living with that, what you would wear on your head. Um, or those Amish have these weird hats because they've been living with that father for a while and they're showing it. But now we're the parents and the children is another word to call the cons is like girls. That's why there's a band called Millions of Dead Children, because those children were followers were fascist followers. They ended up playing the game, and they were killing the marginals, the punks, the hippies, the metalheads, and pretending to be nice with them. They'd make them drink and party all the time and destroy themselves, and always offering hard alcohol and this and that, taking them to the machines in the bar to waste their money, and destroying their life, taking their girlfriends. And then with the curse we had, we couldn't keep our girlfriends. We ended up lonely and all that. Well, that's their curse now, and you can and black metal and metal music will actually dictate all that stuff directly on the love. Even if you don't feel it, that's what's happening when you listen to music and when people are talking to you. It's just that you don't feel the love chakra being activated. But it's kind of neat to feel it, because you can say stuff on it, and when you feel it, you know your word made it to destination. And it's like being a sniper. And then when you the bird language snipes in the right graphemes at the right place to affect, because it's like if we be in a Russian dolls, the smallest to the biggest, all inside one another, and the master was the biggest one around on top. But that bird language with the new eye makes us snipe them down, and then as soon as that love is touched, well, that's a kill switch. So that's how you kill evil, with the love, and that's how you do chaos magic. And then when you have altars, well, you stamp love on it, and it activates, and you could give it an intention or change your reality by having an intention and putting love on your altar, or just having an intention and putting it on that love can change your reality, and the universe will respond to that through other people speaking to you. The one you'll notice speaking and what he said often is a message to you from the universe. Or especially kids are really good at doing that, because in French there's an expression that says la vérité sort de la bouche des enfants. Truth comes out of the mouth of children. Kids, I'll say kids, not children, because children is evil con followers. They were starting to make them angels and all that, and making them part of the gang of swindlers that were wrecking the whole place down and bringing the apocalypse and ripping us off and cursing us to death. So that's about it. So move the music around inside your body on your root chakra and listen to enough metal for it to unlock and awaken your root chakra. And that way you'll be able to cast spells and change your reality and kill evil, especially. So I'll make this a short video for now. That's about what I wanted to say. So don't forget to subscribe and to share my videos. Hit the love button, the like button if you liked it, and it'll help me out. 'Cause, I need more listeners and more people on my chain, because I think I'm talking about really interesting stuff. It's just that it's all really weird because it's stuff people don't feel or see most of the time. It takes time before they see that and manage to raise their consciousness. It's to reach different levels of consciousness. And once you reach that, you can say you have realized, to realize the real lies. When you feel that, and when your chakras are operational, and that you feel the love, and then you'll notice what words touch the love, which ones don't, and which is the love, to which is the love. So they can't complain because we're loving them, but with evil words, because we're nasty like them, because we're the root of all evil now. And Satan's on our side. We all joined his legions. And since we're all good in the Satan legions and the chaos legions, well, they're fucked because we're fucking them hardcore just by emotion in speech fucks them also, plays with that love, and they become here. They become wide-eared and listen to everything that's going on. That's when they're here. That was a bird language thing, because it's not here the location. You're here as in all ears. We were here. They considered themselves as being we. So what would you say to we speaks to them also. And what they would do to us is called what. The word what would start that whole curse thing and indoctrinate us and enslave us in their pyramid. So that's about it for today. So don't forget to like and subscribe and have fun playing with your sex button and your fuck switch and metal music. Oh, and if you need suggestions of bands, go on last.fm on internet. You write black metal last space FM, and it'll bring you the link to last FM. It's and all the bands are there. Then you just click on the artists page, and you have 18 artists per page for 50 pages on death metal, black metal, heavy metal, grindcore, punk rock. Punk rock will do it also, but it's more politically orientated, but it would also do the work. It's just that it's not as intense and fast and rough sounding as heavy metal, especially with the voices of heavy metal. When those voices scrub the love, it makes it feel even better, and it scrubs it down so it gives beer. So have a last swig of Prana. When I drink, you have to breathe in. Remember, and have fun with your fuck switch.